I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham Ha Ruka Kwadash. Double honors unto our apostle elders, which rule great millstone well, and shalom to the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. May you endure unto the end. Shalom wa ababa. So it says in Matthew 24 of Mark 13, but in his red letters, so it's the Messiah speaking, and he's prophesying. But in those days, after that tribulation, which the tribulation is going to be caused by the implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, which it tells you in 2nd Ezra 15. Let's see, 2nd Ezra 15, verse 10, it says, Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, which America is Egypt, and they're intending to slaughter the Israelite. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. So he's not talking about ancient Egypt. He's talking about spiritual Egypt, America. Look at the back of your dollar. And will destroy all the land thereof, which is going to suffer nuclear destruction. Verse 14, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword, the so-called white race, the red devil the Bible speaks of, the wicked, and their destruction draweth nigh, which they're going to suffer a nuclear destruction. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, which this is going to, it's already happening, but it's going to increase when there's no store. There's going to be no peace in the streets. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. So they're going to forsake their elected officials, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able, because it will be in martial law. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. Because America is going to become a war zone. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. And this great tribulation is going to be kicked off by that implantable microchip, the mark of the beast, which they're going to make mandatory for buying and selling. All right, which the Lord's going to keep us from this. All right, but once again, Mark 13:24, verse 24, and it's red letters, so the Messiah is speaking, he's prophesying. But in those days after that tribulation, the implantable microchip is made mandatory for buying and selling. The sun shall be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars of heaven shall fall. Nuclear missiles are going to fall on America and destroy it. And the powers that are in heaven shall be shaken, meaning the elite of their race is hiding in billionaire bunkers. And then shall they see the Son of Man, Yahushai, coming in the clouds with great power and glory, which he's coming from heaven on a so-called UFO, a chariot, a throne fit for judgment, and he's coming with the whole host of heaven in the glory of his Father. And then shall he send his angels and shall gather together his elect of the nation of Israel from the four winds, from the uttermost part of the earth, which is America, to the uttermost part of heaven. All right? So the Lord is going to gather us all throughout the whole world, but the concentration of the elect prophets are in America, the uttermost part of the earth. It says in Mark 13, verse 28, Now learn a parable of the fig tree when her branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves. Ye know that summer is near, which means close, to coming to pass. So ye in like manner, when ye shall see these things come to pass, these prophecies, know that it is nigh, meaning near, even at the doors. Which Yahushua says, he's at the door and knocks. If any man will accept him, right, being an Israelite man, he'll sup with you, meaning he'll teach you his ways, all right, which means that we are remembering ourselves. Verily I say unto you that this generation shall not pass, this generation in which these prophecies begin to happen, all right, it shall not pass till all these things be done. So this is the generation Yahushua returns in. Now you got false prophets, like they were saying that there was going to be a rapture, which the rapture is a false prophecy that false prophets teach. All right, we have to go through the tribulation, the great tribulation, which is going to be caused by the implantable microchip being made mandatory for buying and selling. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. But of that day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. So the Son is sitting with the Father, waiting for his command. For no man, nor angel, not even the Messiah, know the day or the hour, only the Father, when he will command his Son to return. And that's when the judgment will take place of the wicked and them that do wickedly, and the salvation of the Israelite that repented from their sin, for it was ordained. It says in Mark 13:33, take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, to the prophets, and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch, which were watchmen to the house of Israel. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, for we don't know the day or the hour. Now we have prophecy, which we know there's prophecies that have to be fulfilled before his return, like the implantable microchip being made mandatory worldwide for buying and selling. At even, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, right? We don't know the exact day or hour, but once again, we stay ready so we don't have to get ready. Lest coming suddenly, he finds you sleeping, right? Lost in the world sauce, right? Wake up. What did it say? It said, awake, awake. You get Isaiah 52. Isaiah 52. And one, awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments, which is this faith for the Israelites, O Jerusalem, which is a people before a place, the house, the holy city. For henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Shake thyself from the dust, from the confusion. Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck, O captive daughter of Zion. For thus saith Yahweh, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money, which Yahushua redeems us back to our power. Isaiah 61. And 1, it says, the spirit of our power, Yahweh, is upon me, which we testify of Yahushua's return, because Yahweh hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek. He, which the meek is talking about the willing Israelites, and Isaiah, when he prophesied, he was prophesying to northern kingdom and southern kingdom in Jerusalem. All right. It says, he hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty through Yahushai to the captives, which are the Israelites, and the opening of the prison to them that are bound, which we're going to be saved from our captivity, to proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh and the day of vengeance of our power, when he sends Yahushai back, to comfort all that mourn, which the mourning are the Israelites, and we comfort them by the promises, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion. To the Israelite is this comfort given, to give unto them beauty for ashes, and oil for joy for mourning, and the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of Yahweh, that he might be glorified, which it tells you in Proverbs. So, I believe it's 11 and 30. It says, the fruit of the righteous Israelite is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more, the wicked and the sinner, which they're going to receive fire. That's the judgment. They're going to be burned. All right, but us, the hopeful elect, we're going to, Lord willing, be delivered from the second death, the judgment of nuclear destruction of America and the destruction of the military of this world in the valley of slaughter, the valley of Jehoshaphat, where Yahweh's Mashapayim, his judgment will take place, is here in America and in the land of Israel, where you have counterfeits. It says in verse 37 of Mark 13, and what I say unto you, I say unto all Israelites, watch, right? Now, I wanted to cross-reference this to see where it would take me, and it shows you in here under the correlated passages for I say unto you, I say unto all, talking about all the Israelites, Mark 13 and 33, which it's red letter, Yahushua is speaking, take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. So stay ready. Stay on your job of being a prophet. Talking to the men, the women, you have a lot of service to your men. Mark 13 and 35, watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at even, or at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning. See, so we got to, once again, stay ready, stay doing this work, all right, never slacking. It says in Luke 12, verse 41, then Peter said unto him, Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us, even to all? Let's just see. It says, and the Lord said, who then is that faithful? Who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Blessed is that servant, which he's talking about the Israelite man, whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Of a truth I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all that he hath. And if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink, and to be drunken, meaning to go back to sleep, the Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh not for him, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him in sunder, and will appoint him his portion with the unbelievers, which they're going to be in the lake of fire. All right. So that's what you see here. What I just read are the precepts that he gave for this. All right. So we want to stay ready. All right. Diligently. It says in 2 Peter 3:11, it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? See, knowing that all this that is around us is going to be dissolved by nuclear destruction, what manner of Israelite ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? Which, what is holy is the scriptures, Romans 7:12. It says, wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment holy, and just, and good. Let me go ahead to Ecclesiastes 33:1. It says, there shall no evil happen unto him that feareth the Lord, but in temptation even again he will deliver the hopeful elect. He will deliver us from the hour of temptation. A wise man hateth not the law of Yahweh, but he that is an hypocrite, only an actor, therein is as a ship in a storm, meaning they're tossed to and fro because they're double-minded. A man of understanding trusteth in the law, and the law is faithful unto him as an oracle which it prophesies to us. Prepare what to say, and so thou shalt be heard, and bind up instruction, and then make answer. So we're to be ready like someone that's in a sport, and they're supposed to be training constantly, ready for that day when they go into the big game. All right, which we're to be literally like a soldier enduring all hardness, right? Like a student of discipline, keeping ourselves every day disciplined in this truth. All right. This is 1 Corinthians 9:23. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. So put on the glorious garments of being a hopeful elect, and endure unto the end. The same shall be saved. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate, meaning disciplined in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, like a world heavyweight champion bout, right? That's a corruptible crown. That was even shown by Tyson. When they asked him what did those bouts mean, he said nothing. But we an incorruptible crown, which is with eternal life, everlasting life in righteousness. I therefore so run not as uncertainly, so fight I not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body, so he stays disciplined in his discipline, and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway, be no good. You see? So we're not just playing games here. This is for life and death. Choose life. All right. Shalom to the elect. Wa abba.